Hello and welcome to 90 Day Fiancé Trash Talk. This is episode 54. I'm your host, comedian Tracy Carnazzo, joined by a very special guest co-host. So excited to have you, Kristin Seltman. I have been waiting to have you for years.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Although that's not true, I'm sure, but I've been obsessed with this show.
No, I have been waiting. That is a true story. You work in the day.
Yes, I do work during the day.
And it's just so crazy because we also record during the day because like we're losers.
No, I listen during the day while I'm at work.
Oh, okay. So nothing's happening.
I mean, like technically, like I could not be there, but anyway.
Yeah, just quit your job and you're always welcome to join the podcast.
Oh my God, thank you so much. I'm honored.
Anytime. Well, we'll see how this goes actually.
Do you guys offer dental?
All right, sort of.
Okay.
Sort of. I mean, it's basically me. I do a lot of diagnosing.
Okay.
Do you feel okay today? Do you need me to do any like quick I do like medical.
I'm okay.
Okay.
I think I'm okay right now.
I do like small surgeries, nothing like crazy internal, more like surface stuff.
Oh, you couldn't do like a quick lipo on me real quick?
Lipo I feel like is not too internal.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. Right after we record though.
Okay.
Cool. So we're here to talk about season 7, episode 14 and 15. It's both parts of the tell-all. And just a preface for this, I don't want anyone to be disappointed. Nothing happens.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing happens. It's not good, but here we are. And it's going to be okay. It is going to be okay. Right before we start, I just want to let everyone know that you could join Patreon for over 100 episodes of bonus content from myself and my other co-host, Noelle Winters-Herzog. You can go to patreon.com/Teen Mom Trash Talk. I know, Teen Mom Trash Talk, but that's how we started our Patreon. This is how it goes. And make sure you're joining the group on Facebook so that we could discuss everything. Kristin, you've been in the group for a while.
Yes, I love the group. It's so fun. It's the other thing I do at work. I do 2 things.
Guys, if you want to know what happens at Kristin's job, it is listening to podcasts and talking about podcasts. So make sure you join 90 Day Fiancé Trash Talk listeners on Facebook. And we could talk about everything that we talk about on the podcast. We could talk about all aspects of the show. It's amazing. And I have a brand new podcast called Only in New York. Guys, this is hosted by myself, Andrea Allen from the Hot Mess Comedy Hour, Hemda from Keith and the Girl. It is just phenomenal. We talk about just all different New York experiences with all different guests. So we have some great guests coming up. We have Gilbert Gottfried coming up. We have Sean from The Circle. So guys, make sure you're listening. Kristin, you looked excited.
I love The Circle. I had strep throat last week, and all I did was watch The Whole Circle. I'm so excited.
You watched The Circle?
Yes.
Okay, so I will tell you this. Spoiler alert, I watched The Whole Circle because Sam Roberts from Jim and Sam said, Tracy, watch The Circle. We're going to do something on it. So watch it. So I started watching it, and I was like, oh, this is bad. This is not good at all. And he's like, yeah, just keep going because it's really good. And then I finished it. And then I was like, so when does it get good?
Really?
You thought that was entertaining?
I loved it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess there's,
And then I watched like the end, the tell-all. Then I've been reading about them on the internet.
I didn't even watch the tell-all.
Oh, no. Or the one where they announced who won.
Oh, yeah. The finale.
Yeah. And then they were like, oh, did you ever take Miranda on a date and all that stuff?
Oh, so you guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, The Circle is, no, it's fine. The Circle is a show on Netflix that, I mean, watch it. Sure. Whatever. I don't care what you do with your life. Let's talk about the tell-all. We're going to start with Robert and Anny. And this scene, the opening scene, kind of hit home with me because they were at the Dream Hotel in Chelsea, which I was at this weekend.
Oh.
So it's not a big deal. I've been there many, many times because I'm very, very rich, aka other people do things at the Dream Hotel and then I tag along. So I was like, oh, they're at my hotel. So that's nice. And she's putting on her wedding shoes because she says they're the most comfortable shoes she has.
The red ones.
The red wedding shoes. Those are her comfortable shoes. And, she said that they've had ups and downs. And she said that she makes the marriage very difficult. What do you think about this?
I think that Robert is absolute garbage.
Yes.
And deserves everything that she does.
Yeah, I think he's poor trash.
He's a nightmare. The only redeeming quality about him is Bryson.
Bryson and I think his sister.
Oh, yeah. The one who told her that he was poor.
Right.
She was like, FYI, he is poor.
She's like, I'm sorry. Did you come to America and you thought you were going to have your own bed? No, the 3 of you were going to sleep in a toddler bed.
Right.
Is that okay with you? No? He's always renewing his lease, so that's what it
He
is.
never stops renewing his lease.
Never
And he never
stops.
stops looking at apartments too, which is funny.
He just likes to see what's out there. So anyway, Michael and Juliana, and we find out that she doesn't want to talk about his divorce.
I wouldn't either if I was her, because he definitely cheated on him.
1000% cheated, but also like, listen, Michael and Sarah are brother and sister.
They look too much alike.
Yeah.
It's a little bit scary. They have the same face.
I think that they were married, and then eventually they were like, "Who was your dad and mom? Do you remember having me as your brother?"
They did ancestry DNA, and it came back, and it was like, wait a minute, how is this the same?
How we're the same? We have the same DNA, and also. Oh, okay. All right. So let's just get divorced. How about I say that you cheated? And he's like, yeah. That's fine.
Whatever
That's
it
fine.
takes. Just I'm grossed out.
Please don't say that we're siblings. That's fine. Now, Sasha is having a hard time making friends.
Shocking.
And she took him to the gym to try to make. So basically, she took him to the personal trainer daycare.
So the place where he meets the people that he cheats on all his wives with, she was like, I'm going to leave you here.
Yeah, I'm going to take you here. So
Make a friend.
Make a friend. Is she single, young, and ready to have a baby? Because that is your favorite. Also, it does confuse me a little bit with Sasha, because it's like you have all the kids, but then like you don't want the kids, but then you have another kid.
I don't think he knows how to pull out.
Okay, that might be what's going on. Anna and Mursal are still using Google Translate. They still have not learned each other's languages. They don't even make eye contact. Mike. Everyone's name is Michael in this show.
There's like 15 Michaels.
They really should have thought about this before they did this. So Mike comes by himself. Then we see a little montage of Angela smoking in an alleyway. just how we left her in the last one. Syngin and Tanya, they come in. So let's talk about Tanya. So she rolls in on her scooter, right?
Yep.
But then he's also carrying
Crutches.
Right. And then she also has like a brace on. What happened in this car accident?
I mean, apparently she said she had she said she's got like pins or something in there, and this whole thing.
I don't know, man. It looks like a tension to me. That's what I'm not saying that she didn't have a injury, but it was like a lot. So we get onto the set. And the best part about the set is that it's all the requirements are there. So 3 rugs laid on top of each other, and then 3 coffee tables right in the middle where no one could ever reach. Possibly.
And like no one even has a refreshment or anything. Like there's no like they don't even offer them a drink. Like what's going on?
Who are the set designers? I feel like, okay, do you remember when they used to do those little catch-ups in between 90 days, and it was that comic? She used to do it. I forgot what her name was. Michelle. Oh my God, I'm blanking out. Anyway, she was very tall.
Okay.
And they used to have the set, they used to have like some of the, I was going to say characters, some of the cast members on, and they would like do a little catch up, right?
Yeah.
In the middle. And they would make her chair like a dollhouse chair. And this woman was like 6 foot tall. And then they would make a regular sized couch next to it. So she looked like she was like on dollhouse furniture. She looked like she was visiting a nursery school.
Like, what's it called? Like those tiny houses.
Yes,
or something.
that's what it looked like. It looked like she was at like a museum, like doing some illusion furniture. So whoever's doing the set design is not the best.
No.
That's all I'm saying. They have a translator for Mursal.
They said, but like you never see
That's the only thing they edited out.
That's the only thing. Also, they didn't have like any like last time they all like showed them like coming in and like they're like getting in fights in the green room. Like we didn't see any of that.
Because you know what?
Nothing happened.
No one's gonna fight. Who's gonna fight about what nothing happened?
It was
No, there's no beef. There's nothing is happening.
I miss Jesse.
Yeah, these people are like mayonnaise. They have no personalities. This is awful. They're like wet pieces of toilet paper just being soggy. So now Tanya's got the injury and she's sitting, and this is the first thing that they really notice. And they zoom in and they throw so much shade at Tanya because they're zooming in and out of her legs.
Yeah, like I almost saw her vagina.
But they were hairy.
I didn't catch that actually.
That's exactly what they were doing. They were hairy, and it was like,
God.
Yeah, we get it. I know what you're saying. I didn't think Tanya would shave her legs. She didn't shower for her wedding.
Yeah, she's disgusting.
She's not going to shave her legs. I know. Natalie, and I'm very happy to see that she actually had her jaw wired. She had it wired shut for this tell-all. That was amazing. Blake comes in with his blazer. I don't know exactly what this pattern is. He has a turtleneck on. He looks like he's going to a poetry slam. And he has a gold chain on outside of the turtleneck. Thoughts?
My thoughts are mostly about his contacts. They are so blue.
What? No? I think they were natural eyes.
Aw.
I think they make him look so straight.
Yeah. There's a problem there.
Is there? There's only a problem if we have a problem. Anna and Mursal, they're there. They're there. They were. So we talk about something very uncomfortable. Her son Joey says that they were very loud the first night.
Ugh.
And now you wonder why he doesn't want to come to your wedding. He's traumatized.
It's like a nightmare.
Joey's not okay.
No, he needs someone to talk to ASAP.
Yeah, and that's where he is. He's at a therapeutic center.
Yeah, he's inpatient.
He's very impatient. So Tanya loves the way that Syngin smells.
Oh, and then she talks about like his armpit hair and how she like twirls it, and it's just like she's like, I don't know, it's disgusting.
In a crazy twist of events, we find out that Syngin also twirls Tanya's armpit hair.
They are made for each other.
They definitely are.
Soulmates, no matter what she says.
Angela and Michael did sex 38 times in 2 weeks.
I mean, God, I don't know.
She counted.
Yeah, and she announced it. She was very proud of it. She's like, hey, everyone, guess what?
Yeah, I mean, I guess she also smoked 38 packs of cigarettes. So that was good in 2 weeks.
She also paid $38 for the necklace she's wearing that says Michael.
I don't think that ever cost anywhere near $38. That came out of a vending machine. That was the necklace that they exchanged at the airport. So that was beautiful.
It was, yeah. Love is
real. That looks like real gold. Real Nigerian gold. Let's see what else is going on here. Mursal said that he doesn't want to talk about sex. It's sacred. You know what? Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Finally.
Someone said it.
Finally something refreshing. So Robert like kind of comes at Tanya about this whole soulmate thing. And Angela just looks disgusted. And when Angela looks disgusted at someone, you really have to see what's going on.
Right, because you have to really do some like soul searching when Angela's looking at you like you're garbage.
Yeah, Angela's like, what trash?
My favorite is how quickly, because Tanya, when like Robert and Tanya have their moment, he's like, wait, you judging me? She pushes back, so she's like, no, I wasn't judging you.
Yes.
Like, oh my God.
She is something else. So Tanya said that he could fend for himself, and that's why she left for the 30 days.
He's a grown man living in a shed. He can do it.
Listen, question mark on the grown man, because he also said that he wanted to be an opera singer and then sings one syllable of opera.
But to be fair, like he also thought that he would be, what was it, like a
first
woodworker? He's like, I'm going to be a bartender. Like, makes sense. That's what you did.
Yeah, that is what you are.
Then he's like a firefighter. You're like, okay, maybe you can do that.
Yeah, you can take the test.
And then he's like, I'm also going to go to Hollywood.
He's also going to Hollywood.
I was like, oh, you guys live in Connecticut. You
Hollywood,
know that, right?
Connecticut. It's a different, it's actually like a small little town. It's right by Greenwich. Yeah, it's right by where Michael and Juliana live.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Totally different. I think that this is, you know what this reminds me of? Do you watch Teen Mom?
I do some of it.
Okay, so this reminds me of in Teen Mom at the end of the season, sometimes they have a reunion.
Okay.
And they bring the kids, right? And then they bring the kids out at the end and they say to the kids who are, 7, sometimes 4, depending on which season it is. And Dr. Drew says, so what do you want to be when you grow up?
Okay.
And then, a little kid will say, I want to be a dancer. And they're like, well, can you dance for us? And then they do a little shimmy.
Cute.
And I'm like, that's what we're doing here with Syngin.
Yeah, and we're like, sing. And then he sings. And to be fair, it wasn't that bad.
Okay, but what are we doing?
I don't know why it happened.
Also, he's like, yeah, so I wanted to be an opera singer. And she's like, yeah, I mean, I want him to go to opera singing school. And it's like, no, listen, just get a job. And then if you have a passion, you can do that as well.
Right.
On the side, but like also just get a job.
Right. Just do something. Just please.
Yeah, do something because you are in the shed and this is not great. And I don't even know who's worse. I mean, Syngin, he's a fan favorite. Everyone loves him. He's so sweet. Great. Get a job. He said that he likes woodworking. He doesn't know if he wants to do some woodworking. He doesn't know if he wants to maybe do some procrastinating. He's not sure what he wants to do. And Angela's like, listen, even I bend. You got to bend a little bit. Even I bend.
Yeah. She's like, not a lot, just a little bit.
Yeah. And we know, Angela.
Right.
We
heard
you
38
can't bend
times you bend.
You can't bend a ton. Oh, man. So Syngin also brings up that he is suicidal from working in the mines.
Oh, that's right. For 7 years, you worked in the mines.
Right. So you're here now.
And then Michael was like, it sounds like PTSD. It's like, oh my God, Dr. Michael, thank you so much.
He wasn't wrong, though, but like, then don't do that.
Right. Yeah.
And then I remember like during the season, Tanya was like, yeah, there's not like a lot of mines in Connecticut, so I don't think you have to worry about that.
You could actually just do another job.
Yeah, just do it. You could just be the bartender.
Just be a bar. And my favorite too is out where they're talking about the kid thing. And he was like, well, if I have a kid, I'd have to leave my job. It's like, what job?
You don't have a job.
You don't want to have a job.
You don't have a job. You don't have a job at all. So that works out. You can have a kid right now.
Yeah, be a stay-at-home dad.
Oh, God. So she said that they had a plan that she was going to work and then he was going to be a volunteer.
Right. But a volunteer what? She never said what he was volunteering for.
No one knows because this is not real.
Okay.
Also,
Okay.
Why are we agreeing to this? Get a job.
Right. Just do something.
Get a job. You've been in the shed for 3 months. Get a job. Go out there and get a job that pays you money. He said that he might not want kids. And that's not great for marriage because you should probably talk about that before. And she's like, yeah. We talked about it, but we had no choice but to get married anyway.
All of these people have like fundamental differences where like if you're on a second date and you're like,
yeah, you don't go on the third.
Right. You're like, oh, this isn't, I want kids, you don't. Or like, I believe in God, I think aliens are God. Whatever your thing is. And then you're just like, let's just part ways.
These are the red flag deal breakers that you literally you could even maybe even sort them out in the first messages.
The first, yeah.
Before you even meet, you could just sort them out.
Says Ancient Aliens is your favorite show. Let's discuss.
Right. Oh, that's not just your favorite show. That's your church.
That's your religion. Okay, bye.
Yeah. And then you just don't continue. That is what I would do. But, I mean, who am I to judge? Anna asked why they got married. Anna, why'd you get married?
Right. Why are you here?
Why are you here? You guys seem, I will say this. Anna and Mursal, I think, are the perfect couple. I feel like they're the exact same amount of like a little slow.
I said this, and I think I said this in the group and people yelled at me. I think that Mursal is like not a functioning adult.
Yeah,
like,
but I also don't think that Anna is.
Yeah, I don't know I think she's just really desperate. Also, Mursal was he holding like rosary beads? Like, what was that?
let's discuss. He had on a bracelet that had a big tassel on it, and it was a metal tassel. Yeah, and that is what was happening there. Okay. He always has, you forget when he first came here, he had on like a Turkish like throw, remember, around his shoulders. He had on a man purse. Like there's always these little, as Anna's friend said, turkey things.
Turkey things.
Turkey things. I don't think that Anna's friends and family know that being Turkish is not being a turkey.
Right.
They don't know the difference. So now we see Sasha and Emily, and they talk about his ex, Masha.
Yes.
Why?
The one that she met.
Yeah, it's like, why are we talking about this? I don't know what's happening. So we move on, and then they drag out of him that he met Emily while he was still married, but he said that he didn't start dating her until they were separated. Now I think he got confused with the English. He's pretty good with English, but he meant they got separated because he started dating Emily.
So I think what happened is I think they were having sex while he was married, but he didn't buy her a meal until after he got separated.
He didn't make it official.
Right? Yes.
I hear you. So it was just like a booty call, and then he was like, guess what?
Yeah, I am now free. Let us have meal.
My wife. Sorry, I'm sorry that I made him Borat, but I don't do a great Russian accent. So he said that he wasn't really a good dad to his oldest.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, you moved to a different country.
When have you seen him last? Or her last? I don't even know
him.
what sex
I think he has
are.
2 boys.
Okay.
So now we have Betsy Skype in.
Oh.
Betsy, stop. Stay where you are. So Betsy, now here's the thing. I don't mean to body shame.
But
let's look at Sasha.
Right.
You don't have to like him.
No,
What does his body look like?
it's good.
It's good.
He
It's
has
great.
to be because look at his face.
Sure. Okay. Touche. But his body is good.
Right.
There's muscles, probably not a lot of fat, probably very lean muscle. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Let's look at Betsy's body. Again,
Not great.
not great. Not great. Listen, sorry, Betsy. It's not personal.
No,
Okay.
we're just you're on TV. You're opening the door to this.
Sure. Betsy, you, looking like you, are now fighting with Sasha, looking
Right.
like Sasha, and basically saying that he doesn't know anything about nutrition.
Yeah, and like if they show the clip and what he said about food was like, don't eat frosted mini wheats.
Yeah.
Which like fair. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? He wasn't like, oh, here's the food pyramid. It's all whatever. He was like, don't eat cereal.
Don't eat. He's like, things shouldn't have more than 4,000 grams of sugar per
Right.
teaspoon. Like that's what I did learn in Russia.
Right. She's like, do you have a degree? You don't need a degree to know that.
You don't need a degree. And also, I will say, do you need a degree in everything to know everything? Like people do jobs that don't have degrees in them.
Right.
You know, I also feel like he might, like, the only thing that personal trainers kind of do know is like how to be lean
Yeah. How to look.
and how to make muscles. So like, I would say, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that.
She's like, where'd you get your degree?
Oh, and then
Google?
she's so proud of it when she says it. They like show her face. She's just like grinning. She's
Google,
so
and it's
proud
like,
of it.
actually, Google's a great source of information
Right.
for this exact.
Right. How do I lose weight? Google will tell you.
Google.
Yeah.
Google. It's actually a great, I mean, yeah. So now we go into Emily's body issues. And she said that she wants to lose weight for herself. Do you find anything wrong with the relationship with Emily and Sasha? Just referring to her own body image and weight?
I mean, I think the one thing that bothered me was like when she at the end was like, I'm shaking. I think I'm hungry. And he's like, no, you don't need to eat. Like that made me a little nervous. I was like, that's not great.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah. He's like, you'll be fine. It's just there's a lot of people here. You'll be fine. You don't need. And she was like, oh, okay.
He's like, just keep swallowing the air.
Right. Right. He was
The
like,
air has-
have some water.
I Googled it and the air has a lot of calories. So just keep swallowing the air. Okay, now I'm worried.
Yeah.
But before that, I was going to say, like, you know, how as a personal trainer, your wife is like, I want to lose weight.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, cool, I'll help you.
Right.
You're not body shaming her.
No, and also like she did just have a baby, and a lot of times when women have babies, they gain weight. And
Okay,
they wanna
also
lose
she
weight.
looks great.
She's also one of the most beautiful people. She certainly was the most beautiful person on that show.
For sure. But also
so
like,
beautiful.
oh, well, actually Juliana though.
Oh, I forgot about her, but that's like an unattainable.
Right.
Like, it's like doesn't.
But like Emily is,
her face is so beautiful.
yeah, but also like her body is
She's
not bad.
fine.
She's bigger than she's
Right.
bigger than she's used to being.
But
That's
she
what
had
it is.
but she had a baby. It wasn't, and she's like,
Right.
but she's obviously struggling. But my only problem is I think that she's struggling because I think, and she even says it, right? She
wants
thinks he's going to cheat on her
Right.
with someone hotter at the gym.
Well, he's gonna do that anyway.
Right. It doesn't matter.
So you should lose weight for yourself.
Right. And the person he cheats on you with may or may not be hotter. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
They're going to
They're
be at
just
the
gonna-
gym and are going to be somebody else.
And he's gonna get them pregnant immediately. So
Right.
just gear
be
up for
ready.
that. Betsy said that Sasha doesn't respect marriage.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Right. I agree.
Betsy said that he'll leave when he gets his green card. I don't think so. I think he'll cheat.
I think he'll cheat, and I don't think it's a green card. I think it's just like he wants to once it gets a little boring, he's on to the next.
Yes. Agreed. So let's talk about Juliana and Michael now.
Okay.
So they're moving to a new house. And we see that her sister, Juliana, back in Brazil, makes $300 a month.
Is working to make $300
Okay.
a month.
So now also remember what she's doing. She's driving the car that Juliana bought her.
on Michael's credit card.
No good?
I mean, like, what else do you need?
I think he's contributed.
Yeah, I think he's done his best.
We forget so much because Juliana turned into like a really sweet girl. So
Yeah.
we forget like the crazy hijinks that she pulled. She was like, oh, I didn't know. I turned it into an Uber for my family. And I also bought an ambulance in case anyone gets sick. And then I bought a school bus so all my nephews and nieces can go to school. And it's
And then
like,
I bought a school.
and I bought a school because we actually didn't have that either in our village. We lived in the jungle. What are you doing, Juliana? Like, we get it. Everyone's poor. And she said that she sends home money every month.
Yes, he said every month. And Michael is sending money. Juliana is not doing. She's giving like the address, and he's mailing the money. Like
He's Western Unioning
Right.
under his name.
Right.
That's what's happening. And she said that her family doesn't talk to her at all anymore. So
Right.
she went back to Brazil. And she went to her house that she owns, right?
Yeah, she also owns a house there. Michael owns a house there.
Well, she's like, I'm sorry, I bought it on the credit card. I didn't know it wasn't returnable. I got confused.
I'm sorry.
Either that or she used her yacht money.
Oh yeah, her yacht girl money.
Well, I
or
mean,
modeling money. She's a model.
sure. Me too.
Yeah, same.
She so she went back to the house, right? And all of her friends and family, this sounds like a not true story,
This is terrifying.
made a circle around her.
And then insulted her. She walked into her roast, basically.
She walked into the Comedy Central's roast of Juliana presented by the Friars Club. Friars Club Brazil, though. It's a different
Brazil.
Friars
It's
Club.
an offshoot.
Oh my God. So she's like, they said awful things because I didn't take them all with me to America.
Right.
Could you imagine her getting off the plane to come to America with Michael and then she has a small village behind her? And she's like, what? This is
how this works, yes?
no?
I mean, they all pay taxes, so they should be able to bring whoever over here, right?
True.
And Michael
true.
is in a high tax bracket, so he probably gets a few.
He is a taxpayer. And that is how I saw this meme online and it says, if you start any sentence with I'm a taxpayer,
You're not paying.
you're about to say something crazy.
Also, I doubt she pays taxes.
Angela's
I'm
not
sure
paying any
she's-
taxes.
No.
Angela's getting money because now Angela has custody of some of her grandchildren.
Because someone's in jail or something.
Yeah, her
right?
daughter's in jail for rape, but no big deal.
No, but she's not trash.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I think the second time you go on Maury, you are actually given a trash award. Who knows? So now Sarah and Michael were married for 12 years
Yes.
before they found out that they were siblings, first siblings,
First siblings.
not half, not step. And it seems that Michael might have been talking to other women.
Yeah. No. He was having an emotional affairs because that's what men do. They
Oh
have
yeah,
emotional.
men like to take on more stress.
I mean, if I had a nickel for every man who was performing emotional labor for me but not sleeping with me, my God, I'd have no money.
Yeah, but
not
maybe
a
he was
thing.
just trying to help someone through a hard time.
With money and his penis.
Sarah said that Juliana has strong family values and they're like sisters. Oh, like sisters, kind of like
Sounds familiar.
you and Michael are brother and sister.
Sister wives.
Now, Cece and Max come out. Max storms out wearing some PJs.
He's in pajamas and slippers.
What time did they film this?
And Cece's in like a dress. Like, I don't understand where do you guys
Cece's
come
in a
from?
dress, but it looks like she put it on because she was like, I have to go on stage now. I'm sleeping. And they were like, all right, fine. Put on your Easter dress. And she was like, all right, fine. If that's all we have for me. Max sits down and he's like, listen, guys, I get it. I'm in my PJs. I get it that I'm 7, but I'm smarter than all of you. So here's the deal.
He shakes everyone's hand.
Max for mayor, okay? He's like, I was going to host this, but it was actually past my bedtime. So here I am trying to just clean this mess up. He goes, listen, if you're going to date someone from other countries, you're going to have to learn their cultures and learn their language before
You get mad.
you get into the relationship.
And then he turns to Mursal, who's next to him, and says, "No offense,
No offense, bro, but you got to get your
but I'm
life
talking
together."
about you specifically."
Right. Then he says that Syngin and Tanya are his favorite couple because they live close to him. And you know what? That was a cop out.
Yeah. I mean,
I like Cece's more. Cece's like, I don't know those people over there. I don't know their names. I don't watch this show. This is awful. I'm 4.
she's like the woman on the TV, and then Natalie blows her a kiss because she wants kids so bad. She's like gonna hop out of that.
You think
monitor
that
and
Natalie's
grab her.
gonna try to steal Cece?
Yes, I actually think that's next season.
She's like, hello, Natalie. Hello, Cece. I am your real mother.
She's like, there's a car
love
with
me, Cece. Just love me.
There's a car with a bunch of candy and puppies parked out front. If you could just hop in.
Let's talk about Robert and Annie.
Oy.
He said that he can't move, right, from his toddler bed situation, studio apartment,
Right.
because
Because his Bryson's preschool is across the street, and then Annie's like, "There's 2-bedroom apartments in your neighborhood as well."
right,
Mic
she's like,
drop.
it's a real neighborhood,
Right, there's other places to live.
right? She's like, the whole neighbor, like the school's not just zoned for this one apartment,
Right. Yeah.
People move all different places. Also, what's gonna happen if you put him in a different preschool?
Right. Like, is he like, "Oh, I've been in this preschool my whole life"?
He's
What
like,
about
I'm
all
actually
my
working on my
friends?"
degree.
Right. What? I'm the starter in the varsity football team. What'll happen to my college?
Varsity blocks. I don't know what's going to
He's
happen
2. He
here.
doesn't know what he's doing or however old he is.
So he said that he's also paying for all his kids. Okay, well now this is, first of all, I don't think you are,
No.
but I think you're paying for some of your kids.
I mean, there's no way he's paying for all of his kids. Like,
Yeah.
just
And
not.
even some is too many kids, to be
He-
honest with you.
He's paying, like, he like sends the $5 for Christmas and is like, there you
Right.
go.
He's like, listen, I saw on TV that it only takes 30 cents a day to feed a kid.
Here
and
you
that's
go.
all we're going to send. You hear me?
Oh.
Stephanie and Ben. What's happening? So now they're like, all right, we're very concerned if they have more kids because it's going to take away from Bryson.
Oh, you know what they could do though about that is they could give Bryson money. Like they could.
They could.
Right, because they're also his family.
Sure, but also you can't tell someone that goes for every family ever.
It's for every. But also, my biggest problem with Stephanie is like, why is she in like a gown?
Okay, well, Stephanie, actually, I will tell you, I will explain because I know the backstory of this.
Okay.
She was competing in Miss America
Really?
immediately after. No.
I was like, she's a little old and porny
She
for that.
She looked like she had on. Do you remember when you were little and you would get like dress up clothes?
Yeah.
Right? It was like a little, like you would get like chandelier earrings
Yeah,
and
like
white
custom jewelry and
white gloves, white satin. Like I bet you she had white satin gloves on.
so weird.
You just couldn't see her hands. They said that they never see Bryson ever, ever, ever. And then Ben very dramatically pulls the camera off.
Right, and because Robert's like, show the text, the Texas, show the Texas, and then he gets up and he's like, no, and boom,
Show the shrimps. LOL, LOL. So he had a fire in his house,
in his apartment.
So this is a different apartment.
Right, so he does know how to move.
He knows how to move, but you actually have to light his apartment on fire for him to move.
Insurance fraud.
What happened was he was living with his ex and they were living in a less than 0 bedroom apartment. And she's like, if I light the apartment on fire, we have to get at least a studio, right?
Right.
Because right now we live in the bathroom.
Right. They were just like in an Airbnb.
So there we go. So that's what really, really happened. And what happened was he said that Stephanie did not offer to help. So he had to send Bryson to
Atlanta?
go live in Atlanta with his family while he couch surfed until he can get a place.
And they didn't help at all. And it's this story is deep and dark.
I know. And then they're like, okay, well, we can't get into this.
Right. And anytime anything's about to get good, she's like,
Sean,
she's
yeah.
like, wow, that's a lot. Anyway, moving on. It's like, no.
Moving on, let's talk about something we don't care about,
Right.
Anna and Mursal. So he's wearing the tassel bracelet, right?
Yes.
And this is the greatest part about this whole reunion. She legit, Anna, looks into the eyes of Sean and says, no, we're learning each other's languages. We actually communicate now. Yeah. And then Sean is like, that's not true.
Right.
That's not true because I know, because I can see you right now. And she goes, go ahead, Mursal, tell them you're English. And he goes,
how are you?
hello, how are you? Where are you from?
Right.
And then Anna goes, he has full conversations with people.
Right. And like, those are the conversations.
Yeah,
like,
he says, hello, where is
are
the
you?"
bathroom? I am from Turkey.
Where are you from?
I am 38 years old. Right.
Anna, bees.
Bees, honey. Chaka, 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 chaka. So, Sean said that she's like, how did it feel to put your relationship before your kids? Ooh, sick burn, Sean. And she's like, actually, I didn't. And she's like, right, but I also watched the show, so there was...
She's like, I didn't. I still took care of them, and I still was there for them. And she was like, were you though?
Yeah, she's like, not really. I think that you actually gave away the oldest one, right?
Where is the one?
And she's like, I have two sons. That's right, 2 sons.
Right. I don't know who that third person was.
Yeah, I don't know what
They're
that is.
gone.
That's my ex-husband. He said that he was in a bad place. That's what happened with Mursal. And he also then says immediately after that he still cannot speak any English.
And then they have a translator there.
I'm like, wow. So Mursal wants a baby. So they're going to get a surrogate, but it's illegal in Turkey.
Right.
So
They're just not going to tell anyone, but they're announcing that on television.
on television.
Right.
On television.
Right.
Do you see the first part of television?
Right. They're telling. Also, my favorite about that is how Sean's like, do you guys think it's weird that like Marcel was able to like leave and come back? And they're all like, yeah, man, that's crazy. That
And
was
Anna's
so
like,
lucky.
it was fate.
Right. And it's like, no, he went back And I think what happened was he went back and his parents were like, "Oh, we forgot you're super stupid. Please leave.
Oh yeah, that's fine. You
can marry whatever. Just get the.
We literally
just get
don't
out.
even care.
Just get out of here.
We're gonna put a bee in your bed. Get away from me. It's illegal in Turkey to surrogate, so no one cares. No one cares. Guess what? We're not in Turkey,
right?
So no one cares. There you go. Also, we find out that Annie was like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I didn't tell my dad that Robert had 25 kids.
I mean, I would not either.
Hilarious. I thought that was so great. I'm like, good for you, Annie.
Yeah.
Annie's like, I'm not stupid. I need to go to America. So now we talk about Tanya and Syngin, and we have the soulmate debate.
Oh, God.
The great soulmate debate of 2020. And they just understand each other. So now Mike and Natalie, right? Mike's crying.
Yes.
And he's like, Natalie is my soulmate.
Oh my
and
God.
Natalie says that Mike is not her soulmate.
No. Well, she's very mad at him.
She's very mad at him over something that did not happen. So she wants Mike to fight for her, right? Mm-hmm. And she wants to know that he can take care of her. And I get that. I totally get that. And he said yes. Right. He wants to be there if she's pregnant. Okay, fair enough.
Right. Then the whole child debate, because she's like, I'm 35, I need to have a kid. And he's like, I just didn't want to impregnate you and then leave.
Okay. Also, you don't even like him. You said it.
Right. I don't love you, but please give me your sperm.
I would respect her more if there wasn't the baby debate before that. Because it's like, oh, she just doesn't like him. Or maybe he just cheated on her or something happened.
Right.
But now it's like, so whatever happened between them happened a year ago, and then you still wanted the baby. So we'll get to that though.
Okay.
That comes up later. So she said that they're dealing with some issues and the relationship is on hold. And he said that he has hope. And she says, my documents are with the embassy. Michael and Angela.
Oy.
He's crying.
He's devastated.
Angela got a hold of the governor or senator.
Yes. So that's how that works is like you call your governor and you're like, hey.
It's Angela. And he's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, she's like, I just paid more taxes and yet my boyfriend is not here.
So weird. He said that his interview was 20 minutes and that it was total BS. And what do you think?
I think that he like went in there and they were like, where are you from? And he's like, Nigeria.
And they were like, okay, thank you.
They're like, that's all we need to hear.
Thank you so much.
Show me, is this your wife or your grandma? And he was
Can
like,
you just show? Okay, wait. Okay, so we're at the American Embassy in Nigeria. Right. So we know that you're from Nigeria. So that's not great. Right. Okay, cool. All right.
Who you love?
Let's just see a picture.
Right. Do you guys have pictures together?
Do you have a picture? Show us just one picture.
Right.
And then they saw the picture and they were like, What's your favorite thing to do on weekends? Just by yourself? What's your favorite color?
Red, white, and blue.
What's your mom's name? They're like, we don't care what we ask you now because we've seen a picture of her and you're from Nigeria.
Time.
This
Goodbye.
is, we're trying to drag this 20 minutes out.
You can wear all the Trump paraphernalia you want. It ain't happening.
No, we know you want to go to America. That is never.
No, we totally get it.
That has never been the question. So he said that they were just all so scared. Everyone's so scared. Now the goofballs come out.
Oh, God.
And he said that he's just sick of his friends. And they said that she's changed him. Yes. So now the middle goofball calls her Pumpkin.
Yeah, which honestly I think is like a very cute nickname. I don't know why she got so
I think
upset.
that they just hate her.
They're just calling her because she's like big and orange, I guess.
Maybe. And Michael goes, shut your mouth.
Yes.
And then they're like, all right, listen, here's the deal. Like,
let's be honest.
You're a crazy person. What are we doing here? You're screaming like a crazy banshee. We just hope you don't beat up Michael.
Yeah.
And then she walks off and she makes Michael walk off of the screen.
Yep.
She's like, come on, Michael.
Michael.
And then his friends are laughing and Angela is celebrating that they got off screen, and everyone said that they're jealous. Everyone on this day is like, guys,
they're just jealous of your love.
They're haters,
right?
Is that what's happening?
No, and they say that Angela is trashy.
No,
which I think is a valid point.
Okay, so now Michael and Juliana are trying to be relatable, right? And they're like, well, we lost friends too over our relationship. And it's like, Michael, you lost friends because it's almost illegal.
Right. Because your kids actually, as they pointed out, are closer in age to her than you are.
Yeah, because also you lost friends because you're a weirdo.
You're a creep. And she lost friends because those weren't real friends. Those were pimps.
Right. Well, that's true too. They were just yacht friends.
They were yacht.
Speaking of yacht friends, let's talk about Jasmine and Blake. So they're saying his friends are saying that like she doesn't try to like accommodate him and do the kind of stuff he likes to be.
Right.
And that she hasn't tried to be friends with them.
Right.
Zero effort. This is Rita and Everett.
Yes.
And Rita was like, listen, even one night we went out for drinks for Everett's birthday and Blake just wanted one drink. And, Jasmine said no.
Right.
I don't think any of this is real. Also, who are you? Why do I have to be friends with your friends?
Also, like, Jasmine says, she's like, listen, I'm from Finland. She's like every girl in The Bachelor. She's like, I'm not here to make friends. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Also, she's having social anxiety at the reunion.
Yeah,
she
nervous.
has social anxiety.
She only wants to hang out with her husband and her sister. And that's okay.
Has social anxiety. Yeah. Leave her alone.
So, she went to his crazy rap show.
Yeah, and then she's like, and then can I go? This was bad.
And they were like, did you like it? And she's like, if he wasn't my fiance, I wouldn't like it. And they were all like, what about like, no, that's a legit. She's trying her best.
She's trying her best for sure. So Natalie and Michael. So she starts talking about, when and if they have kids, how she would have to tell her kids that daddy believes in aliens.
And he doesn't just believe in aliens. He thinks
Daddy laughs and believes in aliens. So she wants people to respect her choice. And Sasha made the biggest point here. I think that he might have won the reunion at this point. He said, listen, don't try to change people. Basically what we were saying before. He's like, that's a red flag. That's something that you're not getting along on this. You're not going to agree on it. He's like, don't try to change people. He says, trust me, I have 2 marriages and I left 2 children behind. But Sasha, that doesn't make you don't have to be a bad dad.
Right. He's like, I'm an expert because I do not pay for my children. So I can tell you what you should do.
But he is right though. So she's being cautious, right? And there's a moment that he heard her and he says he just doesn't know what it is. And everyone's like, oh. And then we find out what happens. So
then he remembers suddenly.
Yeah. So now she's said that she feels betrayed. So his best friend is a girl and he was the best man at the wedding.
Right.
So the night before the wedding, her husband or fiance went for his bachelor party.
Right.
And they hung out or whatever.
And they had sex.
You think?
Yeah, I kind of do.
Why?
Because when she says later that the woman texted her.
Okay, well,
sorry, don't mean to jump the.
No, you're not jumping it at all. I'm just going to explain to you how I feel about it.
Okay.
So he said that he slept on her couch and he was supposed to stay with his aunt. He wound up not staying with his aunt. He wound up staying with her. Her husband never came home. He doesn't really care. This was a year ago.
Right.
So after that, she still begged him for a baby in Ukraine or whatever.
Yeah, when he arrived there, she was like, now it's time for she wanted babies like
sure.
Right away.
So I mean, you were fine with that situation as long as you were going to get pregnant. So now Robert said, this is why men lie, because if we tell you the truth, you don't believe us anyway. And it's kind of like, okay, sure, Robert, but like not in your case. So let's move on.
Right. And also like, I'm so glad you're out there fighting the good fight for men, but like, why are you speaking?
Yeah, like you have 25 kids. Please sit down. So Mike calls Natalie and then she gets mad. And let me tell you, the woman this is his friend, his best friend, contacted her and said he will never marry you.
Right.
And then she said that he didn't tell the whole story.
Right.
And then Angela was like, yeah, you should ask her, now. Oh, Angela said to Michael that he should go to her and like make things right.
Right.
Now let's talk about this situation.
Okay.
So what I think happened was I do not think that they hooked up, because here's the thing. If he wanted to be with this woman, he could just be with her, his best friend.
Yeah. I don't know. I've had guys that I like dated that like had like situations where like stayed at a house with
Right.
like women or whatever, and they always slept with
Okay,
them.
but this is the night before her wedding. They're clearly such good friends that he's the best man at her wedding.
Yeah, I mean,
This is like
And also-
family kind of stuff. This
Yeah.
and this isn't like Michael and Sarah family. This is like actual family.
but here's the thing, like I don't necessarily think that like something like happened, but I do think like culturally it doesn't translate.
Sure.
Like I don't
Okay.
think like
Yes, totally understand that. But at the bottom line is like if you wanted to be together, then you would be together.
right, but also like if you have someone from another culture and they're like, where I'm from, men and women don't
Yeah.
share a house,
Yes.
then you'd be like, okay, then I'm gonna hang out with you, but I'm gonna go home or go to a hotel or something.
Right, or-
don't tell her.
Well, that's what Robert was saying. Like, this is why we can't be honest. I think that Michael just didn't. You know, there's certain people in your life where you're like, I'm sure that you have guys in your life too that it's like it would never happen.
Yeah.
So you would sleep at their house if you had a boyfriend, because not you might not tell them though, but you know nothing's gonna happen. So it's like so ridiculous to you that
Yeah.
something would happen, and when people don't understand that, it's confusing. Now, what I do think happened was Michael got very upset, and now I'm sure that Natalie has been pulling a lot of weird things, being
Yeah.
fairly emotionally abusive to Michael.
Yeah, she's weird. Yeah.
And I think that the friend was probably like, listen, I'm going to call her. And he's like, no, don't call her.
The friend was like, I'm going to call her and tell her nothing
And I'm going to tell her
happened.
that nothing happened.
Right.
And then she was like, yeah, well, why did she stay in your house? And she was like, listen, here's the bottom line. You're a crazy person.
Right.
And he's never going to marry you. I need to go to my wedding. Bye.
Bye. My priest is here. Goodbye.
Yeah. Goodbye. My alien is here.
My alien, what's the person that marries people called?
My alien reverend.
yeah.
The alien.
My alien minister is here. I have to
Gotta go. GTG. I just love that they met because he was the godparent of their friend's child.
Well, that's the other thing. They have this other friends that they're couples that they know. So
Right.
what I would have done if I was Natalie, as I would ask
Right.
those friends, hey, what's the deal with Michael and this woman?
Right.
And they would tell you, because also she hasn't met her, like, and you don't know the way they vibe together.
Sure.
Like, I could see being like, oh, that's weird. But ask the other friends and be like, what? And they'd be,
Yeah,
and they'd
what
be
do
like,
you
oh,
think about
right,
them?
Right. Yeah. Do some like,
they've been friends for 30 years?
right. Have they ever banged?
Right.
Yes, no, whatever.
Also, is this girl really like legitimately getting married and they're just friends? Like, oh, okay.
And it's also weird, like if you're gonna bang your best friend like the night before your
This
wedding,
is what I'm telling
that's
you.
a little bit much.
They could do it any time.
I do think though, like I understand her being upset because it's a boundary that
Yes.
shouldn't. I can understand being like, listen, that makes me uncomfortable.
Maybe don't sleep at women's houses.
Right,
But
exactly.
he's like, here's the deal though. I did,
right,
and I'm sorry. And
Right.
she's like, okay, but now I'm going to pretend that you slept with her.
right. She's like, you betrayed. I think what happened is, I think she's an absolute lunatic, and she's
Yes.
trying to make it look like
Right. So then she
he
just
did the bad.
Yes. So then she says, I can't really tell you the rest, and then starts crying and then wires her jaw shut.
And then Sean Robertson's like, good, because we're going to talk about something else no one gives a crap about.
Right.
instead.
Well, actually, they ended up talking about nothing else because that was it. That was
So
the
boring.
entire tell all.
it was, yeah,
It was boring. We try to make the best out of it.
yeah, man.
Guys, make sure that you are following 90 Day Fiance Trash Talk on Instagram and Twitter at 90 Day Podcast. But Kristin, before we leave, you are a hilarious comic in New York City.
Thank you.
And I want you to tell everyone where they could find you, where they could check you out. Talk to me.
Sure. So you can find me on like Facebook or Instagram and Kristin Seltman, and then
What's your Instagram name?
at Kristin Seltman.
Oh, wow. You're really creative.
I'm really, yeah. So that is
Can you spell it?
KRISTINSELTMAN with an at in
Awesome.
front of
And
it.
guys, also that will be in the show notes. So just look below on that. We also have some really cool stuff coming up. I did an interview just a few days ago with Ashley from 90 Day Fiance. If you guys don't remember Ashley from Ashley and Jay, she came here to the studio and she spilt a little bit of tea. So if you guys want to hear it, that will be up very, very shortly. So stay tuned for that. And you could follow me, as always, on Instagram and Twitter at Trixie Tuzini, TRIXIETUZZINI. And you could check out my other podcast, Teen Mom Trash Talk, and my brand new podcast, Only in New York. And as always, you can go to tracycarnazzo.com for my upcoming tour dates. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Kristin, thank you for killing this podcast.
Oh my God. Thank you for having me. This is fun.
You're so amazing. And we'll definitely have you back. You're going to quit your job and you're going to be here.
Yes, I'm excited. Looking forward to it.
Okay, bye.